Welcome back to Roadblock number 2. We're going to be talking about goals and plans, or better, the lack of goals and plans. And many of you might be asking, what is the difference between goals and plans? So think about you wanted to go to Australia. That's your goal. The plan is how you're going to get there. Many people don't even know they want to go to Australia or California. So why do you think it's important? Because if you don't have a goal, you might get somewhere that you don't want to be. So let's have some questions over here. So as you are thinking about your goals, don't worry about the plan right now. We'll talk about it later. Think about the goals, how you see yourself in the future. Let me ask you a few questions. And as you hear it, just draw down what is coming up for you. So what are your money goals? What you really want to have? Do not think about any limits, buts and ifs. Forget all about that. Just freely dream and have some thoughts around it. What are your lifestyle goals? Where do you want to live? How you want to live? Why real estate to achieve those goals? It's a tool, right? What would you do if you could not fail? What brings joy to your life? What is your perfect day? How does it look like? You can even think about what your week. You want to wake up and do what? In 5 years, what vision do you have for yourself? It's very important that 5-year vision is crystal clear so we can work backwards, okay? You don't have to have all those answers right now. So take a deep breath. Don't put so many pressure on you. All what we are requesting you is to start thinking about it, start having conversations with your spouse, with your family, with your friends, so you can fully engage into what you want. So what type of investor do you want to be? And yes, you also have choices, many of choices, but I wouldn't start with the niche first. I will have other questions that we want to ask you before you get there, okay? Market is one of them. What is your local market looks like? Do you want to invest locally? Do you want to invest out of state? You got to make that decision. Many people from California, for example, don't want to invest there, needless to say why. So they're looking to invest out of state. So there are states that are better for certain niches in real estate. So not necessarily you must invest where you live. Second thing is your lifestyle. What's going on now in your life? What's going on in the future? Many people are starting a family or moving to different locations. They're sick and tired of the cities and going more towards the suburbs. What does it look like for you? Active or passive? Do you need chunks of money, big capital, or do you rather have cash flow coming in every single month? All those questions are extremely important to think about before you even select your real estate niche, which is the last thing over here. I listed a few items, a few options in real estate. There's plenty more, but those are very common. So wholesaling, flipping, rental, short-term rental, long-term rental, and commercial real estate. When we say commercial real estate, we're not just talking about stores. We're talking about larger 5+ units, syndication apartments. Those are always important for you to know, because when you're talking to the lenders, you need to know which department you're talking to. Real estate requires money and time, and not necessarily yours. It's very important for you to keep that in mind, because many times we say, oh, I'm not investing because of time, or I'm not investing because of money. And it's very important, as Liz mentioned, you got to do your inventory. Are you bringing time to the table? Are you bringing money to the table? Or those are your gaps? You really need to understand that, because that's where you're going to fill out the gaps with your partnerships. Liz said before, right? Once you do the inventory, you have the gaps. Now how you're going to fill out the gaps. And the biggest mistake that I've seen is when people try to fill out the gaps by working on areas that it's not their strengths. So instead, we encourage you to find the gaps in other partnerships, hiring other team members in order for you to really have a strong team moving forward. we talked about the goal, and many people say, oh, I don't have a plan, or a lot of visionaries, right? And I'm gonna explain this term. When I say visionaries, those are people that have a lot of ideas. They have amazing ideas. They struggle when it comes down to implementing those ideas. That's why they need integrators. Integrators are folks who can understand those ideas and really like break it down into the implementation. So it's important for you to know if you are a visionary or an integrator. The book Rocket Fuel really goes deep into those two concepts, so I highly recommend that you take a look. And another book that Liz and I really love, it's a book called Who Not How, because a lot of people really struggle with the planning and implementing it. So instead of saying, how can I do this? How can I start investing? Or how can I take my business to the next level? How can I start investing in syndication in apartment complexes? We encourage you to reframe. So instead of how, we switch it to who. Who do you need in your team? Who do you need to get in contact with? Who do you need to build relationships? It's very important that you reframe that. So as we close this, I want you to go to Rocket Fuel website and you take the assessment, and you will understand if you're a visionary or an integrator. If you're a visionary, you need an integrator. If you're an integrator, you need a visionary. Just a statistic for you, there is always 4 visionaries for 1 integrator. So please make sure that when you're partnering up with somebody, that you're complementing each other. This is very, very important. And before you go to roadblock number 3, please take this exercise. It takes just a few minutes and it's going to be very eye-opening. It was extremely helpful for us and for our business, and I hope it is for you too. Thank you.